Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Interprise Suite CRM demonstration. Okay, we're going to log in as Admin UK, and we're going to log into the Demo Corporation database, and we're going to run the system over the local area network, obviously rather than the internet. Essentially, the interface is exactly the same, it's just which way it's actually running it. Okay, so I'm going to sign in. Okay, so you get used to know the menus. Okay, we've got new. And we've got find areas. New, obviously, new lead, new customer, create a new company, a new activity, and find is when we actually find them. Okay, so if I let's say click on find as an example, oh, will pop up a list of customers. And if I open one up just by clicking on it, we also have a menu down here. So you can bring this up if you like this type of menu, or you could actually push it down and use the icons and a bit of the menu. We also have skins for each data set. Okay, so what that means is that for one data set you might have one different look and feel, and another one another. Just to remind you that you're actually in that data set. So I picked this particular one, and if you look at the customer, you can see that the whole form's changed. If I look at another one like Asphalt World, again it changes. I'm going to stick with the default one because it looks more XP, and that's obviously my preference. Okay, now we also have on the right dashboards. Okay, so we've got the workflow dashboard, and we could use this as our menu. So if I click on there, that'll be new lead. If I click on here, that's going to find a new activity, find an opportunity. Okay, so we've got a workflow menu, our normal tree type menu, which is new find and tools. If I look into customer as an example, you'll see that tools has a lot of different things in it, like allocating stock, refunds, all the things that you wouldn't usually do, yeah, but you kind of need to do sometimes. Okay, so let's just run through the menu. Let's create a new lead. Okay, so a lead, there's leads, prospects, and customers. Leads are effectively cold. Let's say they're inquiries off the website, they're databases that you want to import, and you've not talked to the actual end users yet. So they're leads, but they're not prospects yet. Leads can be converted to prospects, leads can be converted to customers, and leads can be converted to a prospect and an opportunity, or a customer and an opportunity as well. Okay, so let's create a lead name. An example lead company. Okay, the contact name. Okay, well, let's call this Mr. Lead Contact. There's a button here, and there's a button in a few places around the program. And what this actually does is it allows us to format the contact properly. Okay, so automatically, if I type in Mr. Lead Contact, it will format that as the salutation, the first and the last automatically. But it's a way for me to make sure that the address is formatted. So if I want to say Dear Lead, yeah, then obviously I could do that. Okay, another feature in this product is plugin architecture. Okay, and the country is an example of a plugin. So in the United Kingdom, we have, from an address point of view, an address, city, county, and postcode. Okay, but if I look at the United States, if this lead was in the United States, when I pick on the United States, you can see that the address format now changes into city, state, and postcode. And there's actually a pull down on the postcode now, because if you pick, you have to the system holds all the zip codes for the United States and Canada, because they're freely available. Obviously, in the UK, they're not freely available, so it's up to you whether you buy the path file or not. But essentially, it comes with the American and the Canadian ones already there, and you can see that it automatically puts in the city, state, and county for you. And all you've got to do is type in the address. I suppose we're a bit more fortunate in the United Kingdom in that our postcode actually includes the address, so all you have to type in is the number. But obviously, it's a chargeable database. Okay, so let's change this back. Let's just leave it as the United States. The phone number, whatever that might be. If you don't put any spaces in, okay, then what it'll do is it'll format the number for you as well. Okay, but if you put spaces in the actual number, then it'll keep it exactly as you enter it. there's space for fax number, email address. It's automatically assigned it to me, but I could assign it to someone else. It would have automatically put my team in there if I had a team. And there's obviously lots of other things in here, and there's obviously custom fields. You'll see around the program a lot of these boxes. And this allows you to easily drop on whatever extra fields you want to each form. In the user role setup, you can actually drag and drop every field on and off the form. Yeah, but essentially this was a very quick and easy way for a user to be able to do that themselves. Okay, so whatever notes you want to put in there, if you want to put any at all, so we save it. Yeah, save and close. Okay. Now, if I look at find to find a lead, let's say now I'm going to call that lead. Okay. And I've talked to them, and they want to do something with us. So I can convert the lead. I can disqualify it straight off the bat, or I can convert the lead, and I can convert it to a prospect or a customer, and I can also generate an opportunity at the same time. So if I create a customer account and generate an opportunity, and say I want to view this created record, I'll say okay. So what it'll do is it'll convert the lead and create the customer record and create the opportunity record as well. Okay. And so if I refresh the list, oops, okay, because there's only one in the list now, it brings it up immediately because it thinks that's what you want. Okay, so that's why obviously when I refresh, that's what happens. Okay, so let's create a new prospect. Okay, so it's in the United Kingdom. The name is a new prospect, we'll call this PROS. Okay, the contact name is Mr. Prospect. And the postal address, because it's in the United Kingdom, I can just enter whatever I want. Okay, this little criteria here, is it a business or is it a consumer? Okay, because we're very closely linked to the e-commerce system, okay, what we've effectively had to do is to allow anybody in a country in the world like France, Germany, Spain, or the United States to be able to set themselves up an account via our website or e-commerce site. Yeah, we've set up templates for each of those countries. So, for example, if we invoice someone in France, if they were a business, okay, we would invoice them EC sales VAT rate. Okay, if they were a consumer though in France, we didn't have their VAT registration number, then we would invoice them our normal tax, our normal standard rate, 17.5%. So what we're saying here is this is a prospect in the United Kingdom, okay, and in the United Kingdom it doesn't really matter because whoever we invoice in the United Kingdom, we're going to basically charge them normal tax. Okay, so what is I'll say next, and you can see that it brings through the currency and the tax description as well as a lot of other things as well. If I go back and say no, this prospect is in France, okay, and it's a business. Now what will happen is it will bring through the euro, yeah, and the tax description of EC sales. If I kind of said no, they're a consumer, yeah, not a business, then it will put the standard rate tax in. It's just so we could allow someone in France, if we ever dealt with obviously people in France, to actually auto set their account up via our website, and it would default the correct settings in, so we invoice them properly. Okay, so I'll finish that and just save that prospect. Okay, and a new customer is effectively the same. Okay, so let's look at a dashboard. Okay, a calendar dashboard. Okay, so what we can see here is obviously all the things that we're doing. We can see from a diary point of view, we can see a list of to-dos. Okay, so we can see that I need to take the car for the service and also pick up the laundry there. Okay, if I wanted to, I can also see my callbacks, and I can actually pin these panes by clicking there. So I can now see my calendar, my to-dos, and my callbacks. I also have an activity filter, so I can see just particular activity types, or I can just say, no, the completed and the cancelled ones, I don't want to see. Yeah, so it'll take those off. Also, I can see just my diary, yeah, or just a list of people's diaries, or just my team's diary, to-dos, and filters, and obviously all. Okay. All right, so let's create an appointment. Yeah, so on the 10th, let's say, let's kind of new activity. I can create a new activity from the menu by clicking on the actual calendar, or actually clicking new activity up there. All right, so let's just say I've got a meeting, I don't know, to discuss the quote. Okay. The type of activity I can do is obviously to do a case, a meeting, a call, whatever. But this is going to be a meeting. If I tick it as private, okay, then what it means is that everyone can see I'm busy in my diary if they look at my diary, but they can't actually see what I'm doing. Um, on the odd occasion, obviously, it might be a private appointment. Okay, so if I type in, I don't know, well, I think we'll just have to take a list here. A customer France. Let's pick someone else. Example lead company. There we go. Okay, it's automatically put me in, so it's assigned to me, but I could assign it to someone else. It would have automatically put my team in if I'd have been assigned to a team. The date is the 4th. Okay, but I can change that date. I can make the duration whatever I want. I've obviously got some other information here as well. So I put some details in. It's to discuss the quote. I can also have some other attendees in the meeting. I want to have, let's say, admin US in and guest to be also in on the meeting. And I also need the conference room and the projector. Okay, so what I can do now is I can actually look at the availability of the people and the resources. So I can see that, well, I'm actually busy, yeah, on that day um, for um, for those times, but I'm actually free after. I can actually change the date if I want to, but I say, oh, okay, well, 3 o'clock's fine. So it changes the appointment to 3 o'clock. I could send everybody an email to confirm. So they actually, so it reminds them I've actually put a date in their diary. But that's effectively it. I've just created an appointment, a meeting. I've been able to schedule other people and resources. Okay, so let's let's do another activity like a to do. Okay, so to do is obviously I've already done take the car for service and pick up my laundry. I don't know, pick kids up from school. There you go. Okay, or yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, so it's a to do. I don't have to tie it to any particular contact. That's it. I save that. Let's refresh the list, and you can see that basically I've got another to do in the list. Okay, right. Um, I can view my diary by the week, by the working week, by the day, and obviously I can see there's a list if I wanted to, so I don't have to see as a kind of calendar view. Okay, right. Okay, so um, now I'm going to move to my case dashboard. Okay. The case dashboard, okay, shows you all companies have complaints from customers or problems with customers. Okay, now it's up to you how you deal with those, but one of the ways you could deal with them is by logging them. Yeah, for example, a computer company, which obviously I'm used to running, we used to have a kind of a support team, a programming team, and an engineering team, and those we would log every call. Okay, so if someone called in and basically said, I've got a problem with this or I've got a problem with that, we'd actually log that, and we would have a service level agreement that was 8 working hours. So we obviously wanted to respond to everybody and get everyone's problem sorted out within that 8 working hours. Okay, so this is what this is about. So if I just kind of go into setup, okay, and into service level agreement calendar, what you can see is we've actually set up already for the next 2 years the bank holidays for England and Wales. Okay, so we've identified holidays. We've also identified a working week. Okay, so our working week in this company is Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. Okay, and then what we do is we actually create service level agreements. So we've just got a default service level agreement here with a default business calendar, default holiday calendar, and we've said 8 working hours. So what it'll effectively do is every case we log, it'll default to 8 working hours as our kind of due time to respond to people. Okay. Um, so if I was in the engineering team, I could actually just look at this by team by using this filter, if I got those up. If I was just in the kind of programming team, I could do exactly the same thing. But let's log a new case. Okay, so customers called in. They've got a problem. It's a network problem. And the customer is something to do with lead. Here we go, example lead company. And it's automatically put in that we should be responding to this by tomorrow at 10:58. So the service level agreement, if someone logged a call today at 10:57, 8 working hours on is obviously 10:58 tomorrow. Um, okay, rather than obviously, I don't know, 10 o'clock tonight. Okay, so we can put the details of the problem in. They've got a problem on the network. We can also, if we actually complete this call at any point, put a solution in. We can also tie it to individual items if there's a particular problem, so we can start building up a knowledge base. This is not a knowledge base at the moment, but essentially the underlying structure there is for it. Okay, so I'll save and close that. We've just added a case to our list, and you can see that if it's between 0 and 50% of the service level agreement, then it's in green, green traffic light. If it's between 50% and obviously 100% of the service level agreement, it's amber. And obviously if it's over the service level agreement, then it's red. So you can see we've got a problem here. So if I can actually show this graph by service level agreement, so you can see that I've got something logged, something near SLA. And if I just say, just give me the overdue ones, then it'll automatically filter the list that way. Give me the nearing SLA and the overdue ones. Let's sort these out first, because these are the ones that should be sorted out first. Okay, so it's got full case management in there. Okay, opportunities. We have the same situation similar to the case management, where we can log opportunities linked to quotes, or which can be quotes that are in the system based on stock items, or we can base it on, like say someone does a Word document quote, and then just wants to attach that to the opportunity. Okay, so let's create a new opportunity. One feature of the system actually is that if you right mouse click on any columns anywhere or any search list, okay, you can actually choose what you want to sort by. So this is sorted by obviously stage, team, assigned to, and status. But if I didn't want to do that, let's say I just want to kind of dump status in there, put the assigned to in there, and just do a stage and team, I could. And you can do that everywhere. You can also column choose, so you can sort of say, well, I don't really need state, I don't really want assigned to in there or whatever, or open date, and you just drag them off. Okay, so let's look at a new opportunity. Okay, to our lead company here, just example contact. Okay, so opportunity name. We've quoted them for a new network since they've been having so many problems with the old one. Okay, so what's the status? It's either in progress or it's completed. If it's completed, has it been sold or has it been lost? Okay, so this is in progress. Right, the estimated due date, now close date. Now the red circle here means that it's required for our data to be half meaningful. We really need some sort of estimate on when are these things due. Okay, so if I said the end of the month. The stages are user definable. You create as many as you want and whichever ones you want. So I've obviously created, preliminary quoted, meeting arranged, revised quote, another meeting required, more information. Yeah. Is it linked to a particular campaign wave? What was the source? And we've got some static data in here, but you can add to this. Yeah, or you can or you can get rid of the stuff that's in there and just create your own. Okay. So there's an opportunity. Okay, I'll save that opportunity. And if you look in the Documents tab, you can see that if you're one of those kind of type of companies that just does a big Word quote or whatever, yeah, and then kind of cut and paste stuff and then prints it off and then sends it out, you can log the opportunity and attach the Word document to the opportunity. Okay, but if you're one of those companies that wants to do stock quoting based on stock items, and obviously the special pricing that you might have set up in the customer account, then obviously this is where you can do a brand new quote here and now. Okay, or you can actually assign existing quotes you've already done. Okay, so let's do a new quote. So I'm not going to go into detail on this here because obviously in the customer demonstration I do a full sort of demo on the actual quote and the actual order as well, which are very similar. Okay, but essentially it's exactly like an order, but the quote layout is whatever reference you want to put in here. What payment terms are we going to offer? Who's the contact? Obviously, it's defaulted that in. Default shipping methods have gone in there for this customer, but you can put whatever you want. It's automatically linked to the opportunity. Okay, so let's just pick on a few items here, like that one and that one. Okay, and we'll say we want one of those each. It's automatically put the pricing in that has come from either their account or the pricing level they're attached to, the price list they're attached to, or the wholesale or retail price, depending on what we've actually set up for this particular prospect or customer. Okay. We can also edit the description. We can also add different types of item, like kits, for example. Um, so let's pick on that one. So kits are things like your kit configurator for like we've done a computer here. So what we're saying is which motherboard, what RAM, what hard disk. We can pick different ones. So you can see the overall price is £280. But well, Mr. Customer, if you have this particular motherboard instead, it's less £10. Okay, oh, I'll have that one. Okay. And then when you say OK, it just drops all those in. So it drops the kit in at particular overall price. And then if you click on that, you can see the individual items that make it up. You can also quote our matrix type items. Okay, so let's pick on one I've already done. Okay, like this t-shirt. And then what pops up is a matrix type box. So what you can see is that t-shirts I've set up into sizes and colors, and the sizes are small, medium, large, and the colors are red, white, and blue. Anything in gray, okay, we have in stock, but anything in red we don't have in stock. So if I just kind of say, oh, well, just, we'll have one of everything. Okay, so okay. Okay, now on a quote, okay, we've got the overall price, okay, which is £1,496.11p, but we also have a profit tab, so we can actually see the extended cost and profit on each order. Okay, so we're obviously making quite a lot of money on this one. Okay, now if I save and close this quote, obviously you can print it if you want to, but now what happens is the estimated revenue, okay, you can actually set up as either just an entered figure like that, or you can actually have as a quoted figure. Okay, and what it does is it brings through the value of the opportunity, the value of the quotes you've actually assigned to this opportunity, and automatically updates it. If I go out into preferences, okay, what you can see here is when you're setting up opportunities, you can decide to show the actual value of those opportunities by the gross revenue, yeah, or by the profit. It's up to you. Okay, so so here you can see that it's the actual turnover, the sales revenue. Okay. Okay, so that's opportunity management. Okay, if I go back to the opportunities dashboard, now you'll be able to see that, is mine in the list? There you go. Okay, so the priority is, what it actually does is, it would put that £1,000 in that I typed in, but since there's a value in the quoted revenue, then it puts that one in. Okay, so that's opportunity management. Okay, while we're on the dashboards, we've got other dashboards, for email. Okay, this is where you can actually see, you can set up accounts for groups, like you could have support at your domain name or sales at your domain name. And what that allows you to do is, when people look at this, they can have multiple accounts here. Okay, so they could actually then see all the emails for support, and all the emails for sales, as well as other people, and also they can have all their individual email accounts here as well. So obviously, if I highlight this particular one, this is the outbox. Obviously, I've not sent any mail on this particular copy, and it'll display the email very similar to Outlook, and obviously you can open the actual attachment. Obviously, we're sending this particular customer a copy invoice. Right, now the reason we've created an email client, okay, essentially you can still use Outlook if you want, but basically this replaces Outlook in reality. Okay, we've having implemented a lot of systems and know about a lot of systems, synchronization to Outlook for your contacts, your diary, and your email, I'm afraid, is not as reliable perhaps as it should be. Okay, and from my point of view, an unreliable system is no use at all. Okay, so the reason we did this is so all emails that come in and go out, yeah, automatically get assigned to a customer, prospect, supplier account. So when you look at that customer account, so if I just pop up a particular customer here, let's say example lead, hopefully they will have one on here. When I actually look at their account, I'll be able to see all the emails sent and received on their account. Okay, so let's just go back to the email dashboard. Okay, if I create a new email, wherever I am, okay, I can also, when I click on to, it's a list of all my contacts in my accounting system. So whether they're customers, suppliers, or whatever. So if I can sort of say that one, that one, that one, yeah, it puts all those in for me. Also, we needed very tight integration from a document point of view. So let's say I want to do a statement run. Okay, so I'm going to send 200 statements, yeah, and I want to email them or fax them or what's called lowest cost route. If I didn't have full control over the email client, it would be extremely difficult to reliably do that. So that is why we've taken over this particular client and replaced Outlook in reality. Okay, there's all the emails that you send and receive will automatically get tagged against the customer records, the contact records that you actually pick. Now, if you actually didn't want anyone to see that particular email that you're sending, you can actually mark it as private. So if you mark it as private, then obviously only you will be able to see it and other users won't be able to see it. Okay. We also have a dashboard for faxing. Okay, so essentially you don't need fax modems and fax software in your server. Basically, you use a web service. So all you do is subscribe to a company called Interfax or someone similar, and essentially you send all your fax jobs off to them. So instead of 200 statements as an example being faxed would take almost all day on your server with one modem. With a fax service like this, they almost go within the same 5 minutes. So you're benefiting from someone with a much bigger infrastructure to fax, but also the cost is a lot less than you actually using your own analog line. Okay. So we have integrated email and fax, and we actually have the dashboards there as well. Okay, so let's go to target list. Okay, another big important point about the CRM system is it really is integrated. Okay, I can't kind of emphasize this enough. So we've got integrated email and faxing. We have in most CRM systems, you can create target lists, okay, that are based on fields and data within the database. Okay, so people in this country, in this area, whatever, that kind of thing. Where target lists become much better, and you can only get this with a truly integrated CRM account system, is that you want to know something like, okay, people in this area that buy these items offers or have bought these items offers before in the last 12 months. Okay, well, that information is in the accounts. Yeah, so the only way you're going to get that kind of list, yeah, is to have it as one database. Okay, so an example of why you'd want to do something like that is, let's say you've just been offered a load of stock by a supplier at a cheap price because he wants to clear it out, or you've got some very slow moving stock that's been there 6 months and you need to clear it out. Well, your best chance of getting rid of that stock or selling that stock is to offer it to people that have bought those items off you before or similar items off you before. Okay, but the only way you can create that kind of list, is having all the information there. Okay, so this scores very highly over your gold mines, your sales logics, your ACPACs, your Sage MME, whatever. Yeah, they just can't do this kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay, so let's just kind of pick on target list, right? So is the target list based on customers, prospects, or leads? Okay, so I'm going to say this is based on customers. If against a customer or prospect record, we can have as many contacts as we like. Okay, so if I click all contacts, it'll want to send whatever we're going to send, to all of them. If I don't click it, it'll just send it to the default one. Okay, so I'm going to call this UK customers that buy item whatever, yeah, because I don't really know what I'm going to. Usually you set off knowing what you want to do before you do it. I'm setting off not knowing. Okay, all right. So display name. Okay, so I'm going to pick country. Okay, so the country field, and I want everything in the United Kingdom. All customers in the United Kingdom. Okay, and then what I want is people that have bought something in that category, and that category of items. I could just pick individual items if I want to. People that have specifically bought a particular item. Okay, so I'm going to say next. Okay, I'm glad there's someone in my list. Okay, now I've created this target list now, and I can use this target list in campaign waves. Okay, but if I just wanted to do a quick quick and dirty kind of email shot or fax shot or letter run or call list. I can do it here now. I can go create email. Yeah, no, create an email shot. I can do create a fax shot, or I can just export it to Excel or whatever, and do whatever I want to do with it. Okay, but I'm going to save this because I want to use it in my wave. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is campaign wave. Okay, so we have one wave set up. So one campaign set up. Now a campaign is an umbrella, yeah, for lots of activities underneath. So for example, we want to sell Interprise Suite software. Okay, so that could be a campaign in the first quarter. Okay, and you know the waves can be the things that we're going to do. So we might be able to do. We might be doing an email shot. Yeah, then we're going to follow up with a calling everybody, and then we're going to follow up with a fax shot, and then we're going to follow up with a postcard, you know, a letter run or whatever, yeah, and then we might come back to another email shot. It's all the activities that we're going to do to achieve the campaign that we actually want to set out to do, and we can also gauge the actual response, the activities, and the opportunities that were achieved by that. Okay, so let's look at this particular campaign. Okay, so the campaign is the umbrella. We have an in progress, we have a start date and an end date. Okay, we have waves that are linked to it. Okay, we also have opportunities, activities, and documents that are linked to it. So if I look at waves, you can see I've already got a couple of waves set up, like the two call ones. Okay, but let's add a wave so you can see what kind of things go on here. So I'm just going to call this Tony's example. Okay, so this is a fax one. Okay, so I'm going to say it's in progress, and it starts then and ends then. This is the detail. Okay, it's about this, that, and the other. I'm also going to pick my target list. Okay, so I'm going to pick the one we just created, UK customers that buy an item, and I'm going to compose the fax now. Okay, and the great thing about this is I can say on the subject line, I can say da da da. Okay, special offer. And if I attach attachments to a fax, then what happens is it'll actually kind of open those attachments up and actually fax them as a hard copy. Okay, so I'm going to go dear whoever, you know, la la la, and I can actually, if I've got templates set up, I can pull those, use those templates, and then it automatically merges the data, or I can actually drag merge fields across and use those as I want to. Now, if I wanted to send this fax run, I could do send to text fax to see what it looked like, or I could actually do the entire fax run right now by clicking on the send fax button. Okay, but if I just change this to email, what you'll notice is all of a sudden, okay, sorry, email. What you'll notice is I've got now a compose email tab instead of an actual compose fax tab, and you can see that you've got design, HTML, and preview modes. So you've got a full HTML editor in here, and you've got the merge fields still. So you can actually do what you know. You can do exactly the same thing via email, via fax, and the other one I want to show you is call lists. Okay, so what we can do is now we can say I want you to, you know, this is where we kind of put a script to say ask about this and that. Okay, and the outbound call details, which users would we like to make these calls? Okay, so I'll say, well, admin and admin UK. Okay, or I can pick a team, and obviously the target list is the one we've already chosen. Okay, so if I now save and close that, you can see that we've actually got another wave here, Tony's example, that's in progress. That's a call type. Okay, I can obviously see this as a kind of calendar as well when it's due. Okay, so let's save and close that and go to outbound calls. And what we should have is the Tony example one. Only the outbound calls that would come up here, okay, that I'm actually assigned to as a user. Okay, so if I click on the Tony's example, I say get a call. Okay, so I've got to call JNS Computing. Okay, I've got to ask about this, that, and the other. I can make some notes here. Okay, yeah, I got through. Brilliant. Okay. That will then mark that as an activity against that particular customer. I can actually go straight into that customer record if I wanted to. Right, got through, brilliant. Okay, so I get another call. Okay, they said call back after tomorrow. Okay, so call back in a day, and that'll put that into my callbacks. So you can see it's just a very neat and easy way of reminding people to try and make some calls or make a call activities. Okay. So we've been through a lot of the new, we've been through obviously a lot of the find, and the only other thing we need to do is finish off on a few dashboards, I suppose. We have document management. The document management within a customer account is this is for overall documents. So you don't have to have a separate document directory on your network. You can store it all in the one database. So, for example, you just create as many folders as you want. You have as many documents as you want. Okay. And also, you can also access this remotely by having it as part of the database. We've got reporting. And obviously you can see a preview of it. It's got a full report writer, and we've got business intelligence. So on the CRM side, it's case performance, so we can see are we actually responding to our calls on time, outstanding opportunities by value. Okay, so a bit lacking in data there, I'm afraid. Okay. One other thing I'll look at in a bit more detail is the customer account. I'm going to look at that in more detail in the actual customer as well, but essentially we'll have a quick look at it here as well. Because one of the major things about this is with truly integrated CRM, when you look at the customer account, everything is in one place. Okay, so here's a customer. We've got all our contacts, we've got all our notes, all our activities. Okay, and we can see that as a calendar or as a list. We've also got zoom buttons, so you can actually zoom up and down to expand the actual area that you want to look at. We've got case management, so obviously we can see all the outstanding cases for this customer, all the outstanding opportunities, all the emails, all the faxes, all the documents, all the waves they were part of. Okay. We can also from here, okay, looking at a particular contact record. Okay, we can see the specific notes, activities, cases, opportunities to do with that contact. The general tab basically is all the contacts, notes, and activities across all contacts. Okay, so we've got a contact-centered view and an entity-centered view. From this record as well, you can basically do a quote, do a sales order, do an invoice, create a new contact, create a new note. You can do everything from here. Okay, you've also got recent history and trading information. And essentially, I'll go through all this other stuff in more detail in the customer module. But the point I wanted to get across was everything is in one place, so you don't have to kind of look and go looking for things. Okay, thank you very much. Hopefully you'll look at the other presentations, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.